So we're going to be looking at the Jackson and Sharp passenger cars by Accucraft. While they're a really nice model, they're really stiff-legged. The first generation ones, at any rate, just don't roll very well. I understand that later on they went to ball bearings and an improved performance. These are just such amazing passenger cars that I really wanted to run them on the railroad, but they've turned out to be really hard to pull. And there's a little bit of a problem with these guys. They're really stiff-legged, and when you try to pull them up a grade, well, things like that happen.
Oh, gee, what?
So I just popped the coupler, and when the couplers hang on, then partway up the grade, the wheels, the whole locomotive is just straining right now to try to get these things up the hill, and pretty soon we start breaking traction and can't get up the hill at all. So I've been thinking, why? And when you just push these cars along with your hand, because they're not that heavy, they shouldn't be having that much trouble getting up the grade here, but just sliding them along by hand, they're really stiff for some reason. They just don't want to roll freely.
Oh my.
So I was thinking we can flip one of these over and see if we can figure out what the problem is.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe wheel bearings?
Maybe.
There's also electrical contacts here for the lighting, and that could easily be the problem too. But look at this, they just don't roll easily. They're really stiff. So a lot of the problem here seems to be that the wiper brushes for the lights really press hard against the back of the wheels. Moreover, the wheels are set in a brass bushing. I understand that the later issues of these, the later versions of these came with ball bearings. But I think the real problem are these wipers on the back of the wheel. They're really dragging hard on the back of the wheel. So the hope is that I can adjust all 8 of them. There's 4 here on each wheel truck, and adjust those so that there's not as much pressure on the wheel without losing good electrical contact. So I'm planning to try to make these adjustments to the wipers using these very fine needle nose pliers, and I'm hoping that I can get relieve some of that pressure without losing electrical contact. So what I'm doing here is just very gently reshaping these contacts. They're held in, as you can see, with Phillips screws, and if I weren't able to get this to work, I thought, well, I can lift the whole block out of here and reshape it that way. But I think I'm getting this to work. I'm taking some of the bend out of that and still having pretty good contact with the wheels, but freeing that up so that they're rolling much, much easier. Okay, oops, if you're not careful with this, it's easy to take too much of the spring out of the wiper so it no longer even touches the wheel. The key is to shape it exactly right so that there's still good pressure on the back of the wheel without excessive pressure on the back of the wheel. Okay, so once I got these mostly freed up, I had an idea. Last week we were looking at a product to use for keeping your rails from oxidizing. It's a product called No Ox ID. And what I found was when I put it on the rails, it made the rails so slippery that I was losing driver traction, and I had to use it sparingly in certain places. But it's a conductive lubricant, and I understand it was originally developed for lubricating motor armatures. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to try putting it on these electrical contacts on the back of the wheel. It should be a win-win situation, that it'll be highly conductive and very, very slippery. So this is the product. Again, it looks like grease. So and it behaves very much like grease. It also the purpose of this is to prevent oxidation. It just struck me that this is the perfect product to put on the backs of my wheels. And so I went in here with a little pick and just placed a small amount of that on the back of each wiper, and then spun the wheels around to make sure that it was getting evenly distributed across the back of the wheels, and that seemed to work out great. Then I took this Labelle 106. I love Labelle 106. I use it for all kinds of things. Doesn't attack plastic, and it works for all kinds of situations where you want to lubricate things. And I just worked some of that down into those brass bushings to make sure that they were as free as humanly possible and free of friction. So the hope is that 304 here now rolls better than 280. This one I haven't messed with. This one I've gone through the wheel trucks and lubricated and loosened up the brushes so they're not quite so, and then I've lubricated both brushes so they're actually both rolling a little bit better than when I took them out of the box.
Yay! Never mind, we've got rain coming.
That's raining.
Uh-huh.
But I can just this one's really resisting a lot more than this one. I'm going to see if I can give it a mighty sharp.
Not too hard of a mighty sharp because
I want it to go into the next county.
Yes, the track ends.
Yeah, just.
Yee-haw! Oh man, it's like a Hot Wheels car.
And it doesn't seem that the lights are flickering. I'm rolling the cars around here with the power turned on, the DCC power on, and I'm not seeing any flickering. There's no keep alive or anything going on with these cars, so if they were losing contact, you'd see it.
There it goes. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day in the neighborhood. And away it goes. It's not a trolley, but...
It rolls down great. It never did that before.
No. Bye-bye. And...
I would say that the experiment is a success.
I would say so.
I've actually got 4 of these, and I've never been able to run more than 2 at any one time. So I'm going to rework the other 2, and maybe, just maybe, I can pull all 4.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be wonderful. Well, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe by clicking on the upcoming blue button. Zoink! Right there, the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Sunday.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.